this camera is kind of essential to pulling that off.
People have played our previous games together anyway, whether they was co-op or not. That made that decision feel quite a natural one. That like, people want this, and let's do it. It's gonna be fun,
Whenever we put something in the game, we are trying to make sure it doesn't get boring. It's something new. One thing we're really trying not to do is to give you the same thing over and over and over and just work based on a recipe. But instead, we're really questioning ourselves, is this unique within the game, right? I'm not saying unique across all games, but trying to give the player something fresh. Reanimal is a co-op horror adventure where you play two siblings and you're looking for your three friends.
These kids grew up in a lovely place, but due to reasons that become more apparent as you play the game, that lovely place has turned really quite nasty. And so your job as these two players is to go and rescue your other friends and try and escape this nasty place. The island itself, due to this inciting incident, has been fractured, and so it's in three large parts and a bunch of smaller bits. Each of your friends can be found in one of these big parts. It's a very simple tale of find yourself in hell, go through a really scary place, survive and rescue your friend, It's a tale as old as time.
Like, we really love seeing people go with that and just go the extra mile and find all those secrets and all these things and put it all together and come up with their theory, right? So I feel like if we give away too much up front, everybody loses.
We definitely give players more this time round than in previous games, but still it's nice to keep a little bit back so you can kind of meet in the middle and see what people make of what you've given them and all that.
It's definitely a co-op game. You're together solving various little, maybe puzzles is almost too much of a word there, but you're overcoming different obstacles in the world and survive various things we pitch against you together, right? So it's about the two players finding ways to survive and rescuing their friends, really, like we said before.
Because I'm a big couch fan. Couch co-op is where it's at for me. But then a load of people love online. And then there's people who just want to do that together. So the fact that the tech team have managed to get all three boxes checked that front, I think is really, really nice.
And what was also very, very important to us is that it's all kind of the same experience because this camera is always the same, right? We don't have split screen. In online co-op, you don't follow your character and the other one is doing whatever. It's always being together as the two characters. And yeah, like Mer said from the beginning, scared together. That was one of the pillars.
They're coming.
Reanimal is an upcoming co-op survival horror and cinematic platforming adventure from Tarsier Studios, the acclaimed developers behind the Little Nightmares series. Published by THQ Nordic, this highly anticipated title is set to release in 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Windows PC, and the new Nintendo Switch 2 platform. As Tarsier's first major project following their departure from the Little Nightmares IP, Reanimal is positioned as a spiritual successor, a bold new evolution of their signature style that marries haunting visual storytelling, eerie childlike vulnerability, and deeply atmospheric world design. Set in a twisted, decaying version of a once idyllic island, Reanimal follows a pair of orphaned siblings on a desperate journey to locate their missing friends. After a mysterious catastrophe mutates the landscape and its inhabitants, the siblings must confront their inner demons, manifested as grotesque, animalistic horrors, while piecing together the fractured memories of their shared past. The game's narrative unfolds in a wordless, interpretive style, relying on player observation, symbolic visual, and unsettling environmental shifts to convey emotional depth and thematic resonance. With no dialogue or text exposition, every sound, silhouette, and set piece becomes a storytelling device. Gameplay in Reanimal is a hybrid of stealth, survival, puzzle solving, and exploration, enriched by the dynamic between the two protagonists. Players can play solo, where the second sibling is controlled by AI with intelligent pathfinding and context-aware behavior, or in two-player cooperative mode, either locally or online. The game introduces a shared, dynamic camera system that adapts to player movement and line of sight, intensifying moments of claustrophobia and disorientation. In co-op play, the camera subtly shifts perspective based on proximity and line of sight between the characters, building natural tension during moments of separation or converging threat. The setting, a corrupted version of the siblings' childhood island, is a meticulously handcrafted open environment filled with non-linear exploration, secret paths, and unlockable memories. Traversing between sectors involves using a shared boat, introducing a nautical element inspired by classic adventure games. This vehicle serves not only as a hub for player progression, but also as a thematic anchor, a fragile safe space amid the ever-encroaching nightmare. Exploring the island reveals diverse biomes, ranging from abandoned fishing villages and flooded forests, to sunken catacombs and half-submerged schools, each reflecting aspects of the protagonist's lost innocence and suppressed trauma. At the heart of Reanimal's terror are the monsters, distorted animal-like entities that stalk and hunt the children. Through shadows and silence, each creature is designed not only for horror, but for symbolic storytelling, with enemy types representing fragmented psychological themes such as fear of abandonment, guilt, shame, and survivor's guilt. Encounters are not always about direct confrontation. Players must study patterns, manipulate environments, and coordinate movement to evade, distract, or outsmart the horrors. Unlike traditional survival horror titles, Reanimal emphasizes vulnerability over empowerment, maintaining the children's fragile, human scale in contrast to the world's grotesque grandeur. The game introduces several innovative mechanics tied to its emotional and psychological themes. For instance, when separated, the siblings' perception of the world distorts. Objects may shift shape, the environment warps unnaturally, and even time appears to pass differently. This surreal mechanic adds layers of depth to puzzles and exploration, encouraging players to reunite and collaborate to restore a shared sense of reality. Some puzzles require one sibling to traverse shadow realms while the other manipulates light sources or alters the environment from afar, emphasizing trust, timing, and coordination. Built using Unreal Engine 5, Reanimal marks Tarsier's transition into fully 3D environmental design, a leap from the 2.5D style of Little Nightmares. The engine enables stunning lighting effects, real-time environmental deformation, and fluid character animations, key to delivering the game's unsettling atmosphere. The visual style blends hyper-real textures with stylized proportions, creating a world that feels both grounded and dreamlike. From flickering flashlight beams cutting through misty marshes to towering half-animal statues in abandoned zoos, the art direction draws inspiration from sources like Silent Hill 2, Pan's Labyrinth, and The Wind Waker, blending horror, fantasy, and childhood wonder in equal measure. Now you can enjoy the screenshots without any interruption. Enjoy!